That's the best I can say that. I'm sorry. Who are your favorite YouTube users? Oh God. I love James Rolfe, also known as the Angry Video Game Nerd. I don't just love his Angry Video Game Nerd stuff, but I love the stuff that he does on Cinemassacre. I love all the classic video game reviewers on YouTube, such as Pyramid Head 87, WizWar 100, Spoonie, Armig21. One of my absolute favorite game reviewers is a username. He goes by the name of Low Fat Jello, but he's known as the Happy Video Game Nerd, and he's not just a knockoff of the Angry Video Game Nerd. But apart from the thing that separates him from the Angry Nerd is that he actually does reviews of good games that are underrated. And he sort of makes his videos his own. And he does a great job with it. I love watching his videos. His videos are really well done. Just type in Happy Video Game Nerd on YouTube. I love his videos. I highly recommend you check him out. Alright. I'm just gonna skip that one if you're okay about being pissed off about deleting questions. What are your favorite Ultimate interpretations of Marvel characters? Trying to think of one. You know, to be honest, I really can't think of any. I'm really not a fan of the Ultimate Universe. I really don't care much for the Ultimate Universe, personally. I just prefer the classic 616 universe. I'm sorry if that wasn't the answer you were wanting, but there's not one Ultimate character I can think of that I like better than their original counterpart. Are you enjoying my questions? I hope you're not disappointed because I know you don't read modern comics. Sorry. No, I'm not disappointed. I'm doing the best I can to answer them. I think I'm doing alright. If you had X-ray vision, what would be the first thing you do with it be? Oh, trust me. I could put my X-ray vision to very good use. What Marvel what-if story do you find most interesting? Oh God, that is a hard question. Because Marvel has done so many great what-if stories. I really loved the Marvel 1602 storyline. I thought that was really cool. Marvel Noir, that's really cool. I love that. There's actually one really cool what-if storyline called Marvel Ruins, which is basically like the Marvel Universe completely grounded in reality. Like, it talks about how, like, all the characters in the Marvel Universe die all these really gruesome deaths because all the stuff that they do would never be possible to survive in real life. It's really disturbing and gory. What else? Damn it, I had one Marvel thing that I was thinking of, and I just forgot it. Oh, there is one what-if storyline I actually really enjoyed. It's called Punisher. The Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe. Yeah, you heard that right. Frank Castle, the Punisher, he goes on a murdering spree, and he kills everyone in the Marvel Universe. It's pretty absurd, but it's entertaining, though. Do you like Tim Burton, and if so, what are your favorite movies of his? I like Tim Burton, but I don't really like some. I really don't care for some of his most recent movies. I really don't care much for Alice in Wonderland. I didn't really care much for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I liked Corpse Bride. I thought that was pretty good. I loved Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd is actually one of my favorite Tim Burton movies ever. But like I said before, my all-time favorite Tim Burton movie, like besides Batman, would probably have to be Ed Wood. Simply because it does such a good job talking about the life of Ed Wood. Okay. What Marvel... Oh, I'm sorry, I read that one. Alright. Okay. Moving on. Who's your favorite legacy character? Example, Wally West, Bucky Barnes, Kyle Rayner. Oh, you're talking about like characters who follow in like the footsteps of their predecessors? That's kind of easy for me. I'd probably have to say either Jaime Reyes or Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond. I think those characters are really awesome and cool in their own right. Yeah. What comic book event do you think was the most bullshit? Oh. Where the fuck do I begin? Civil War was bullshit. Yeah. What DC event do I think was bullshit? I think that whole DC Wonder Woman Amazon's attack thing, I think that was bullshit. I think that was major bullshit. Another Marvel thing that I think was absolute bullshit was the Spider-Man One More Day. I don't need to explain that. Are you pissed off that Barbara Gordon is returning to the role of Batgirl and losing her paralysis? Yes, I am. Like I said with Dick Grayson, I think it's a major step backwards. Because I think Barbara was actually the most useful in her role as Oracle. She was a computer master, and she could hack into any system. She could provide Bruce with any information at all. I just think she was a lot more useful as Oracle than she was as Batgirl. Alright, what's your favorite theme song? Oh, Jesus. I honestly can't answer that. There are so many great theme songs out there. Do you hate emos? Yes, I do. I hate emos with the utmost fucking passion for living. What's your favorite Slayer album? I would probably have to say their first debut album, Show No Mercy. Mainly because that album was probably the most simplistic out of all their albums. Because the thing with Slayer, all of Slayer's other albums is that they have like all these different preset themes of like war, genocide, famine, religion, Satanism, hell, all this other stuff. Like their first album, Show No Mercy, doesn't really pick one topic to be about. It just sort of goes all over the place. And it has that really sort of low-budget, garage-type feel to it. And I think that actually makes it a lot more cool in my book. That's the Slayer album I enjoy listening to the most. But yeah. Do you hate Paramore? I hate just about any country, light rock, R&B band under the sun. But I do think that the singer of Paramore is actually pretty damn attractive. Do you know who Jedward are? I'll just skip that one. Shall I go further? Yeah, go ahead. What's your favorite fictional planet? I never really thought about that before. Probably New Genesis. I don't know. I think it would be really awesome if I could live on New Genesis for like a vacation or something. I think that would be pretty sweet. What's your favorite animated movie? Batman, Mask of the Phantasm. Enough said. Is there any comic writers and artists that you think has lost their touch? I kind of think that I think Todd McFarlane's lost his touch. Personally, who else? I think Peter David's lost some of his touch too. I read a few of his comics, and I think that I read a few of his comics, and I think of his more recent comics, and I think they weren't really that good. Jeff Loeb, as much as I hate to jump on the bandwagon of all the people who hate Jeff Loeb, I think a lot of his recent stuff is really bad. Is there any DC character you think could work well in Marvel and vice versa? I don't really know what you mean by that. Like, I don't exactly see what main difference between Marvel and DC would really matter in terms of like different in terms of like their characters or something. I don't know. I think that, although I guess if I had to pick one, I kind of think Mr. Miracle would be kind of a cool Marvel character. I don't know. Who's your favorite? Oh, do you like Black Manta? Yes, I do. He's one of my favorite comic book villains ever. Who's your favorite comic book character as a leader? I'd probably have to say Dick Grayson as the leader of the Teen Titans when he was Nightwing. I think he did a great job leading the team, personally. Are you going to do any top 10 or whatever lists anytime soon? Yes, I'm currently working on a top 10 Superman villains list. So you can look forward to that sometime soon. Do you like The Incredibles? Yes, I do. I think it's my favorite. It's pretty much my favorite Pixar movie ever. What superhero villain costume do you think is the most practical? You ask some really hard questions. Do you know that? God. I think the Punisher's costume is pretty practical. Because, I mean, it's not any fancy. There's no excessive stuff. He doesn't wear a cowl or a mask or wear a cape or anything like that. He just has a huge skull on his chest, which is incredibly intimidating to any criminal he comes across. And he has a crap load of like pouches for like ammo and guns and stuff. So I think the Punisher's outfit is probably the most practical. Mainly because it's pretty much nothing but body armor and like bulletproof vests and shit. What expectations do you have of the DC relaunch? They're rather low because I think that the relaunch is pretty fucking pointless in the first place. What's your favorite comedy movie? To be honest, I'm not too big on comedy movies. Peter Jackson's Brain Dead, would that count as a comedy movie? I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna have to stop right here because my camera is sort of running out of minutes to actually film this thing, but I'll be right back. I'll probably edit in the part where I start filming this again. So, toodles. Actually, I want to go back to that one about the comedy movie because I have thought of something that I really do enjoy as a comedy, and that is Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. As far as like horror movie comedies go, I thought that was really funny, personally, but actually, I just consider Abbott and Costello to be funny in general. I also like the Naked Gun movies with Leslie Nielsen. I think those are pretty damn funny. Do you have a favorite superhero family? Oh, Jesus. Now, what do you mean by superhero family? Family? Are you talking about like a superhero wife, husband, and their kids, or are you talking about just like one hero and all of his supporting characters? Like, are you talking about like Batman, Nightwing, Oracle, Robin, Huntress, Red Robin, Batgirl, all those characters? Or like with Superman, you've got Steel, the Eradicator, Red and Blue, Pete Ross, you know, the Supergirl, those types of characters. What exactly do you mean by that? If you're talking about that kind of family, then I think I'd probably have to go with Superman. I just, mainly because I just kind of like his supporting characters just a little bit better than Batman. But yeah. Is Batman Mask of the Phantasm an amazing film?